Welcome back to Lawn Dude on Earth. Thank you for listening to the show today. Let's see what topic we get into after the intro. What is going on? Sorry for the noise. I'm actually doing another truck talk. Welcome back to Lawn Dude on Earth. This is Micah, owner of Lawn Dude Lawn Maintenance LLC. Your host for the, whatever time of day that you're listening to this doggone podcast, man, is when I'm bringing this podcast to you. And whatever time of day that you're listening to this, or night, I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate it. I don't think anyone listening to this honestly and truly understands how much I appreciate it. I've literally developed this podcast to talk about the highlight reels as well as the lowlight reels, talk about the struggles as much as, the positives. There's too many people out here trying to become YouTube famous, trying to become famous on the podcast. But I'm going to be completely honest with you, man. I'm going to have to be honest with you. I'm going to have to keep 110% with you. Doing a podcast for me is also an outlet. If I'm being completely honest, man, it's also a stress reliever. And what I mean by that is, I've been through some struggles in this business that weren't taught to me that could happen, or the resources weren't out there for me to learn how to get through them. So I currently, I have a free podcast. I have a free YouTube channel where anybody who's trying to learn the ins and outs of the business can access and, learn about these different things that weren't taught to me. Nowadays, it seems like everybody's trying to make a quick buck, and then there's also a lot of people out there who put out great material, and I really do understand why they charge. They charge because it's their time. Time sacrificed from their full-time businesses, time sacrificed from their families, time sacrificed from themselves. So I completely understand why people charge. But what I'm trying to do is provide free content out there for people to learn. I don't want to show you all my flashy stuff, all my equipment, and be like, oh, yeah. You do this, you do that, you can get this. Nah. I'm going to tell you what comes with getting that flashy equipment. I'm going to tell you what it's like to be in this position. So, today's topic, man, this podcast is coming out. Today's topic is really based on time. It's going to be about time. I know you're probably sitting there going like, what do you mean it's based on time? That doesn't make any sense. It's what you're saying. I'm going to explain it to you. Just give me a moment. So today, real time, it's Labor Day. It's Labor Day. I'm leaving from my wife's grandma's house I just cut her grass. And yes, it's my only day off, but it's important to me to get up here and take care of this for her. So I'm on my way back to my house at this point. Possibly do some training with my kids, cardio on the bikes. They both have practices later because apparently Labor Day is not much of a holiday anymore to where, practice is still held and everything else, but whatever. It's about getting them ready for their games and better at their craft. So it is what it is. As parents, and as most parents who listen to this know, you sacrifice whatever for your kids. Always. But that brings me on to this topic on time. I have like about 3 or 4 podcasts I haven't even released yet for that simple reason, time. I like things being as close to perfect as possible. So don't be surprised if you get a few podcasts this week that are that seem like they are post dated, or not even post dated, but they're talking about topics that are from a week or two ago. That's because recording a podcast is easy. But the problem with me is being such a close perfectionist is I don't release just anything. I like to go back and edit and re-listen to everything that I record. So that's part of time, and it goes with priorities. Podcasting is great. I love helping people out, but I do want to let you know that this is the reason why I'm not on YouTube, because on my list of priorities where I need to put my time at, where I need to manage my time at in this stage of my life, I don't have time to set up a camera, and I don't have the time I can make to set up a camera. I'm not going to say I don't have time, because we make time for what's important to us. At this point in time, it's not important for me to make the time to set up a camera to record me out on our property. As much as I love doing it, because I love helping people out, I love showing people how to do things, because it's easier to show people than I can tell. Time is what is important. And for every person listening to this, your time is different. Some of us have, families. Some of us are the family man or woman that have to devote time or need to devote time. Some people don't devote that time to their families. Some people don't devote that time being at their kids' games. Some people don't devote that time going out with their spouse to do whatever, grocery shopping, go see a movie, go eat dinner, hang out and watch a movie, Netflix and chill. Some people just don't devote that time to actually get a deep breath in and focus on their mental health. Practice what I preach on that one. Because that's something I have a hard time doing. I just see the work that needs to get done a lot of times. And yeah, anyways, it's about devoting time. It's different for everybody. I'm going to tell you what it is for me, man. And this has changed over the years. This also isn't, I'm not going to sit here and say this is in any particular order, because it's not. It's about where everything falls priority-wise each and every day. So, spending time with my wife and kids is top priority for me. I take that back. Behind me developing my relationship and getting closer to God, spending time with my family is my top priority. So, those who have seen my IG, those who have seen me on YouTube, know I have a lot of equipment, know I have gotten quite a bit of business debt over the years. Well, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that the reason why I got a lot of that, obtained a lot of that, was because, I'm trying to develop more time, make as much money, make more funds in less time, because that's what it is. I get the equipment that allows me to go in to whatever project, knock it out a lot quicker, collect whatever funds, and be done with it earlier than expected. And that plan has worked, because I've done some major projects, and this is me as a solo operator. I'm currently doing top dressings, aeration, seedings. That's one of those things where you used to only be able to get one job a day done. I'm doing multiple top dressings in the mornings, on my Friday mornings, which is my miscellaneous day. Leaving those top dressings, and then still it's like late morning usually when I'm done with those two. And then I'm able to switch trailers with the setup that has my aerators and my spreader on it, and go out and aerate and fertilize, another handful of properties all in one day. And still be done usually by before 2 o'clock on a Friday. That's because of the equipment. I do my biggest possible lawns of the week on Thursdays, my biggest state route. And with my 72-inch mower, I'm usually done before 2 o'clock. Multiple properties, quite a bit of properties I do. Not sure how many offhand. I'm doing multi-acre properties, and I'm done before 2 o'clock. Days when I'm doing my commercials, same thing. You know, any job that I do for this company, God has blessed me to be able to obtain the equipment to speed up time. So, what does time mean to you? I just told you what it means to me. It's so important for me to spend time with my family to the point where I was willing to go into business debt just to make sure I had as much of that time as possible. I have as much of that time as possible. Because I'm 35 years old. I'm not going to have forever with my family. So, time goes fast, man. That's why I say maximize what you can. And that comes into another goal that I've been changing. I'm always changing, moving the goalposts. So I'm moving the goalposts again, man. At this point, it is for my my cash flow. I'm increasing that. I'm working my butt off day and night, no lie, to the point where I have no day off, because even on the days I'm supposed to be off, I'm still doing something to get the company out there, to have people seeing it. Almost spamming my social media to ensure that people see what services I am providing at that time, so I can maximize that service. So, trying to increase my cash flow so that I'm able to do more with my family. So we're able to do things without going, oh man, we don't have enough to do that. We're not going to be able to do that because, we need more funds for that. Well, I'm taking that out of the equation by the grace of God and by doing what I'm doing right now. Working my butt off. So, time. I'm going to keep saying it, time. What is it to you, man? What does time mean to you? Does time right now mean to you that you need to work sun up to sundown? Well, I'm not going to sit here and say that that's the wrong approach. For some people's stages in life, it is the right approach. Some people are single, and you have nothing but time to go out and just work like it's nothing else there. I've had those stages of life where I had to do that, and I still have times now where what's changed for me now, me personally, is instead of just work, I'm able to sell bigger jobs that keep me from having to be out so as much. And that's been a blessing. Some people, when it comes to it, might not have to work as much. Some people still might be in a stage of life where they can step away and not really do any of the day-to-days with their businesses or even a job. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I kind of can't wait till I have more control to where I don't have to go out every day, and I can kind of decide, hey, I want to be off for the next week or two to, go on vacation with my family. That's what I'm striving towards. My time is important. My time is so important now that I realize every time I step foot on a client's property, I need to account for whatever time. And that goes into my estimates. That goes into whatever I put out there for a client. Because that's time taken away from me doing something else that I'd rather be doing, honestly. Which, could be at one of my kids' practices. which those who know me, you know I love to show up to everything. Practices, games. I always plan to be there. Call it FOMO. My bad, FOMO. Fear of missing out. And I'll tell you, you're right. It is FOMO. Fear of missing out. I have a serious fear of missing out on anything that the kids are doing. Because I know time is valuable. I know they won't always be at the age they are at now. And before I know it, they'll be grown, and I don't want them to look back and go like, all daddy did was work all the time. I get why he had to do it, but man, I didn't see him. He wasn't at my games. I won't be that dad. I'm going to tell you that right now. I won't be that dad. I still remember being young, being a kid, and looking forward to bike rides when my dad came home. And now that I'm older, I understand how tired that man was. I understand how tired my dad was to hop on that bike after a long day of work and take me on a bike ride. But it's something I remember. Going out and tossing the football with my dad is something I remember. So guess what I do now? I go on bike rides with my kids, and there are times when I come in, being in this field, man, I wake up almost every day, my body just sore and in pain just from all the stuff I would put my body through in this field. So when I come home, a lot of times you run on that adrenaline all day of being out there getting the job done. When you come home, a lot of times when you sit down for about 5-10 minutes, that adrenaline wore off, and your body's tired, sore, you're tired, sore, mentally, physically. But you know what? I still hop on that bike and go out with my kids. I still hop in the truck and go with my kids to their practices, games. I still try, I still do whatever with my wife. And that's someone right there who I really, really, really have a goal to do trips with. A serious goal. Obviously serious. I wouldn't be putting it out there on a podcast. But I'm talking about somebody who's been there with me since, the start of this business. Seen the struggles, seen the ups, seen the downs. So you see why I want to invest as much time as I can to spend time with those that I love. Time also goes with clients. One goal for me with my time, I don't know about you guys, depends what stage of business you're in. Sometimes when you're starting out, you're taking on whoever you want. But in this stage of business that I'm in, my time is so valuable that I try to get clients who value my time and whose properties are ideal for my time. So, like, for example, we have a commercial right now that's a shopping center that has a ton of islands. So when I go out to bid now, don't get me wrong, we make sure it pays out just right. But when I go out to bid, say we get another one of those that's has a ton of islands that need to be trimmed or push mowed, and it takes a lot of time, very tedious task. That's not the ideal client right now to fit into our time in this stage of business. When it comes to commercial, for us, the little simple dink and dunks that you can be in and out of within 30 minutes, or the wide open fields that even if you're taking an hour or two on, they're wide open fields, you're not doing a lot of trimming, it's not a lot on the body, and that 72-inch mower can knock it out. That's the type of stuff we look at. Estates, we look at properties that can keep us busy, we look at properties that are easy to maintain, not a ton of obstacles to sit here and go around. It's all about the time, man. Everything we do it's on time at this point. Because I am at the point where I'm trying to maximize every last minute, every last second, every last millisecond moving forward. And that's what it is. Alright, y'all. I'm going to get up off here. Y'all take it easy. And be blessed. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Lawn Dude on Earth. We talk about all kinds of things here. The good stuff, the tough stuff, and everything in between. If you like the show, please give us a 5-star review. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and have a blessed day.